So, what is a false twin flame, and how can you know if the person you're exploring a twin flame connection with is a false one or the real deal? Today's list is all about that, and I will also share how you can best use this list so that you can be like 100% sure that, yeah, that person is a false twin flame or that person is my true twin flame. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Christine, and I'm a certified ascension coach, which means I help bring twin flames into their union. So, what is a false twin flame? So, a false twin flame is someone who you might be convinced that they're your true twin flame, but they're actually not. So, you're guided to explore this connection with this person as though they are your true twin flame. And the way this happens is because every one of us, has their own blocks to their union, something that is stopping them from manifesting union with their twin flame. And in some cases, maybe in most, like I've seen this very often with people, like it's a very common thing to have a false twin experience. It's most compassionate to work through those blocks with a false twin flame at first, because if you don't have a foundation of doing your inner work and knowing how to handle a twin flame connection, it's not very compassionate to be around your true twin flame for prolonged periods of time. It can be very triggering, actually. So yeah, if that's the most compassionate way for you, you might be called to work through those things with a false twin flame. So yeah, it's safe to treat that person as if like you know, if you're guided to explore with this person, it's safe to treat it as if they are your twin flame, which means that like you see the oneness here, like you use the mirror exercise for anything that triggers you about them, and you keep working on your relationship how you would as if they were your true twin flame. And what that will do is that it will very quickly reveal whether they are your false twin flame or not, because you will notice if they're a false twin flame that the things that I mentioned in this list are happening as a result of you like going all in with them and exploring this relationship fully, or they will like reveal themselves as your true twin flame time and time again. So then you won't have to wonder, right? So it's safe to go all in. And I would also advise you to like take a look at today's list from a place of peace and from a place of non-attachment, like not attaching to a specific result and just being very peaceful. Like whether that person is my true twin flame is okay, whether they're my false twin flame, that's okay as well, right? Like coming to this place of very deep peace with like being okay no matter the outcome. And yeah, because sometimes when we are emotionally charged, it can be like, oh, like I wish this person wasn't my twin flame. So yeah, like I'm gonna call you a false twin flame, even though you're very clearly my true twin flame and I'm triggered. So yeah, you don't want to do that because yeah, there's no point in it. It's just being triggered. And you can very easily work through that with a mirror exercise. So yeah, number one sign that somebody is a false twin flame. They constantly lie about who they truly are because they want to take the loving energy from you without reciprocating. So of course a false twin flame is not going to like want to reveal themselves, right? And I'm not saying that they're being evil or something, not what I'm saying at all. But yeah, let's say that yeah, there's a person that gives you all this loving energy. Like anybody would want to like stay in that as long as possible. And by revealing their false twin flame, that means that they cannot stay in that loving energy. So of course they're going to try and hide that. So yeah, like that can range from like what we call white lies, like very little things, to much bigger things like your core values. So yeah, if you notice that there's deception in your relationship with this person, like first of all, you sit down, you do the mirror exercise, maybe they're reflecting something to you, right? And as you make the choice to be fully honest with all of yourself, it will be revealed if they continue to make the choice to be deceitful. Then you know that they're not choosing the same as you, so not your twin flame. Sign number two that someone is a false twin flame. Your visions for your life don't match, and a false twin flame doesn't care to be involved in discovering the vision for your life or in participating in that. So that's something I noticed as well with my false twin flame. Like I would have like this entire vision for my life, like a Pinterest board, like all those details. And I really loved cultivating this because yeah, at the end of the day, it's something you do with God, right? You don't need your twin flame to know what your vision is. You just need yourself, right? What do I like? Oh, I want a house by a lake. Okay, right? Simple. Or I want to work this type of job. Or I want to have this many children, if at all. Maybe I want pets, maybe I don't. Like, it's very simple things. Like, what do you want your future to look like? And yeah, like with your true twin flame, it can be a much easier process. Like you can discuss it, you can be like, oh yeah, we met here, and like, okay, like I want to live on a hill, you want to live on a mountain, let's get clear about why each of us wants to live there. And like there's a discussion in that, and you're both like you both will find out like what the right answer is in this case, like what feels best, because like at first you might have these superficial disagreements, let's say, which are miscommunications, even with your true twin flame. But with a false twin flame, they just don't care about that, because yeah, they care about being with their true twin flame, to be honest, like at the core. That's how everyone is designed to be. So of course they're not going to care very much about your vision because you're not their twin flame, and vice versa, right? So yeah, if you notice that your visions drastically don't match and that person is not really willing to work with you here to figure out like what the common vision is, or if they don't care at all about like the future of the relationship and all that, that's definitely a red flag. Might be a false twin flame here, right? Because your true twin flame, of course, they share the same vision as you. They're happy to help you discover it if you don't know it yet. So, because they are you, like you're the same consciousness. So, of course, they're going to want to help you here. So, sign number 3. A false twin flame is not interested in discovering your shared values. So, that kind of ties into the previous sign, which is like, okay, like they don't care about discovering the vision or being involved. And a false twin flame doesn't care about the whole thing with your core values. They have their own because they have their own like twin flame, right? And they share those values with them. But yeah, it's something that's very important, right? Because sometimes, even when you have your love list, your twin flame can match like 85 to 90% at first of those. Like they don't have to match 100%. And it's very unlikely because, yeah, if you look at your love list, I bet even you don't match 100% at this point in your life. But you're working on a few things, right? You're still growing. You're a work in progress. But with a false twin flame, it's going to be that either they match like 3 items in your list and your list is like 5 pages long. Okay, that's a bad sign here. Or maybe they just, yeah, don't care about like sharing with you whether they match or not. So let's say, for example, like one of your core values is to like have children one day or not have children one day, either or. And you share it with this person, and this person's like, I'm not sure. And like 5 years later, they're still not sure. So yeah, that's definitely like a red flag right here, because if you've been like with them for so long and you've been doing your inner work, yeah, like your true twin flame would have like reached the conclusion that they match you here by now, right? Even if at first they're like, I never thought about it, because as I said, they don't have to match 100% if they're your true twin flame. But yeah, like a false twin flame, they won't really care about going deeper in your values also, which is the same thing, like, I'm not really sure, and 10 years later, they're still not sure, so not interested in going deeper here or discussing. So yeah, like that's a big thing, right? Because your values and your twin flames values, they match perfectly. So yeah, like if you don't have a love list already, I highly suggest writing one. I have made a video on this. There's like a lot of instructions that you can follow to like, and the more specific you get and the more detailed, the best it is, because of this reason. Like you have a clear idea who your twin flame is. And I personally remember I wrote like this huge one, like 30 something items in it. And when I was exploring whether the person I was in a relationship with was a false twin flame, I did a lot of healing on that in a coaching session with my coaches. And then I grabbed the notebook I had the list on and we read it together. And they were like, okay, does he match those values, this list? And it was like, he matches like 3 items out of the 30 something. It's crazy. Right? That's absolutely like definitely not a twin flame. And I had been with this person for 3 years. So yeah, definitely a good idea to be like really honest with yourself about whether like they match your values and how many they match. On the other hand, with my true twin flame, like I didn't even know him that well. I had known him for a couple of months at this point, 3 months maybe. And yeah, like he matched, yeah, I think 25 at least of them out of the 30 something. Like he definitely matched them. I knew it. And it was like, okay, the rest of them is like, I'm not sure yet, so I need to ask him. It wasn't like definitely doesn't match here. Right? Because it's okay to have like this gray area, especially at first with a person, and then it gets revealed as you build your relationship. So yeah, next sign that somebody is a false twin flame is that the relationship is superficial, right? So your false twin flame is not interested in going deeper with you. And of course, the relationship is going to be based on something very superficial, like maybe sexual attraction, like maybe, I don't know, like something very superficial, like a common hobby. But it's not going any deeper, it's like it's hitting a wall. With your true twin flame, you don't have that. Like it might begin as something superficial at first, like it might begin as just sexual attraction and then develop into something more. Or, yeah, it might begin as a shared hobby thing and then it develops, right? That's the difference. Like it doesn't stay where it started even like 10 years later. So it doesn't stay stagnant with your true twin flame. But with a false twin flame, no matter how much time passes, you might get like marginally better in your relationship, but it still feels like there's not much depth here. It's like there's a limit to it. And with your twin flame, it feels like it's pretty much limitless. So yeah, like you can feel into your heart anytime, like if you feel like there's still more to explore in this relationship, or if like it reached the dead end at this point. And it's important to like keep in mind what this person is showing you and has been showing you instead of like their potential, because a lot of us can be caught up in, oh, this person has the potential to be like this, and yeah, but they're not choosing it, so what's the point, right? Anybody has the potential to do great things, but the thing is not many people choose it. So it's important to really yeah, what's the phrase like, it's when somebody shows you who they really are, believe them. So that's a very important thing, right? To like see that, okay, if the relationship is superficial and it's not going anywhere, then there's no point in staying in it, because it's not really, chances are it's not really going to change. And it's very different with a false twin flame because they don't mirror your inner work. So no matter how much healing you do, it's not going to help the relationship at all. So yeah, sign number 5 of a false twin flame. A false twin flame doesn't care about healing or triggering those places within you in order to help you heal. So a false twin flame will just care for like an easy relationship with you, not very much in terms of healing, right? Because when you are healing stuff, of course they're going to vibe out. It's kind of related to number 1, which is like they lie about who they are. So yeah, like they're not going to be very interested in triggering you or bringing up those misalignments to the surface, because like they don't love you at the core like your twin flame does, and like they don't really care about healing or whatever, because again, it's a false twin flame relationship. It's like any other relationship. So it's not like with your true twin flame. Your true twin flame really cares about your healing, really cares about you, and really loves you at the core, because that's who they're designed to be for you. So of course they're going to trigger you a lot, and if, especially if you don't know how to deal with this, it can be very uncomfortable, which I mentioned in the beginning. So yeah, like it's important to like, okay, is this person like does this person care about my healing, or do they just want an easygoing relationship? And how do they react when I express something deeper to them? Like maybe you're deeply upset about something and you're expressing it to them. Like, do they just run in the other direction, or do they stay and love you there, right? And even tough love can be love, right? But you can feel it at the core with your twin flame, no matter how they act on the outside, that there's love there. But with a false twin flame, it just feels empty, no matter what they do. So yeah, that's that might take a bit of training yourself to feel into that, but yeah, it's okay. It's a muscle, like your spiritual abilities. So going deeper into that, it will definitely help you tell if that person is the one or not. And sixth and final sign that somebody is a false twin flame is that a false twin flame regularly abandons you. So with your true twin flame, you can't ever really experience abandonment because they'll always be there, right? And not just spiritually speaking, but also when you follow your life's path genuinely and you follow your spiritual path to your highest good, your twin flame will always be there. Like life will find a way to bring them to you every time. You can't escape them in a sense, but that's not a bad thing, right? That's really sweet, right? Because that person is your love of loves. So of course, life is going to find a way to bring you together when you choose your highest good, because that's your highest good in terms of romance and partnership and friendship. So of course, right? That's your person. But with a false twin flame, when you genuinely choose your spiritual path and what's in your highest good, that person's gonna vibe out like crazy. Yeah, it's going to be super, super quick. And like, even if you don't work on your twin flame path consciously, let's say that you get started in your life purpose path very much like very powerfully, like, okay, I'm like going to really make it here, and you really work on that, then a false twin flame will still vibe out, and they'll be like, oh, I can't relate to you anymore, because of course they can't. Right? Which would never happen with your true twin flame. Your true twin flame can absolutely relate to you when you are living your life purpose and when you're more of yourself. So yeah, that's very important as well. And yeah, like you can never experience abandonment from somebody who didn't claim you. So like a false twin flame cannot really claim you, you're not theirs, and vice versa, you cannot claim what is not yours. So yeah, like you'll have the experience of abandonment a lot with a false twin flame. um, there's an exception here in terms of like with your true twin flame, it can look like abandonment a lot of the times if you have unhealed abandonment wounds. So if you've been abandoning yourself in some way, so like, yeah, for example, like not really honoring yourself or not taking care of yourself properly, your twin flame is going to reflect that to you. But you'll notice that as you heal and you do your inner work, notice the common theme that, yeah, like your true twin flame will just stop mirroring that because you've stopped having this pattern within you. With a false twin flame, that's not the truth, right? They will not do that. They don't really care about the healing, and they don't really reflect you because you're not one consciousness. So they can still help you heal a few things on your way to union, but they're not the real deal. So eventually they will vibe out, and that's okay. So yeah, these were the 6 signs that somebody is a false twin flame. Now, what do you do with this list? So it's okay if you still don't have clarity about that person. If after watching like one video, that's okay. You can make the choice in your heart to see the truth no matter what and choose clarity and continue to live your life. Like continue seeing how the relationship with this person unfolds. Keep doing your mirror exercises, maybe even work with a coach. Like I offer free consultations now, so if you would like to learn more about that and getting started on maximizing your potential in healing here, so definitely feel free to reach out. I have the link in the description. And yeah, like as you do the healing work and as you continue on your path, then it will be made very obvious eventually. And yeah, eventually for you can be like a few days or like a few months, a few years, depending on how easily you release resistance to revealing this person. Because I know for a lot of people, it took them a long time to reveal a false twin flame because of that. They had a lot of resistance, like, no way. Right? And you want to make sure you release this resistance because the quicker you do it, the quicker you'll come into your union. So yeah, that is a very, very important thing, to release resistance and just allow things to unfold naturally, because you can't really lose your true twin flame, so you don't have to attach to them or to attach to a person. So yeah, that's the final piece of advice. This was today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to stay at the channel, like, subscribe, join the family, and I hope to see you in the next video. Enjoy your day.